Cadence is already practicing our composition by the time I reach the music room. My footsteps are drowned out by the melody resonating throughout the halls. I love this sound, the sound of my song finally coming to life. I reach the door and, as always, Cadence doesn't hear me entering. I watch her in silence. The way her fingers skip and dance along the keys has always been fascinating to watch. Wonder if my hands move the same way when I play. Probably not. She doesn't miss a beat. Each note is played in perfect time, and for a brief moment I catch a glimpse of a smile on her face. How wonderful. Achoo! And I just had to go and ruin the moment. The music stops as a shocked Cadence spins around with a fright in her eye. She sees me leaning by the door. Valerie, when did you get here? Not too long ago. My nose sniffles as I enter the room. Are you feeling alright? Yeah, I just have a little bit of a runny nose. Oh, that's right. Cadence hops off the bench and walks over to a bag that is sitting on the floor. She opens it before reaching in to pull out a familiar woolen scarf. I need to return this to you. She approaches me with the scarf in hand, delicately offering it to me. Thank you for lending it to me. Oh, it was no problem, my little baby kangaroo. She returns my scarf with a grimace on her face. Valerie's really good at just being the worst. Ha ha ha. She lays the sarcasm on thick. I'm joking, and thanks for bringing it back. Well, I wasn't gonna keep it now, was I? I mean, would you like one? I could buy you a scarf as a thank you gift for playing my song. Oh, there's no need. I can always just buy one myself. Guess it's fine if she doesn't need one, but I would like to give her something. Thought of her wearing something that I've given her is nice, a symbol of our friendship. I'll get you one. She rolls her chocolate brown eyes in mild annoyance. What was the point of even asking me if you're gonna do it anyway? I like to give you the allure of choice. I show an innocent smile, but she isn't buying it. You're terrible, Valerie. She tries to maintain a straight face, but she can't hold back the little grin that creeps its way to her lips. I have learned not to try and argue against you once you've made up your mind. You sound just like my friends. Speaking of which, are you free this weekend? Why am I asking? Of course she's free. Why? You should join me and my friends for dinner this weekend. Why? She inquires again with more caution. I thought we had gotten past that. I just thought it would be nice, but if you need a better reason, one of my friends is doing the same course as me. His friends are performing his final composition for him as well, so it might be a good opportunity to compare how we're both doing. Is anyone in your course actually performing their own song? I mean, I'm sure some are, but it was actually Xavier that gave me the idea to find someone else to perform my composition. Xavier's my friend, by the way. I can play it just fine, but it sounds so much better when you're the one sitting in front of the piano. You're just saying that to butter me up. No, I'm being 100% serious. Whenever I watch you play, I'm completely mesmerized by the way the music sounds like it's on a whole other level. I could never play like you, the way you elicit so many emotions with so few chords. Sometimes my heart even skips a beat. Okay, I get it. Fuck. Stop with all the flattery, please. Beautiful shade of rose red blooms over Cadence's face. She tries to cover her embarrassment with her hands, but even her palms have become flushed. I'll meet your friends on the weekend. Just please don't talk like that about me in front of them. Should I tell her that it's already too late for that? It's probably best not to. Great, we'll go to my favorite restaurant. La Pomme de Terre. Oh, she's cute when she tries. I can't hold back the giggle that escapes my lips. Yes, La Pomme de Terre. La Pomme de Terre. Terre? That's what I'm saying, I think. Tear. No, you're saying tear like teardrop, but it's tear, like when you tear a piece of paper. Oh, good, I was saying it right. They sound exactly the same when you say it. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. You and your accent. Well, your accent is absolutely adorable, so... That gets her to be quiet. Her rosy cheeks bloom once again. She really is weak to flattery. What time should I pick you up for dinner? You've taken me there a couple of times already, so I think I should be able to just meet you there this weekend. Really? I don't mind coming to get you. I do. Short and stern. That's just like her. Well, alright. Guess after all that teasing from before, she's put up her walls again. Should learn to give her some space. Wow! Oh my god! Valerie, character growth. Crazy. But if I had done that from the very beginning, we wouldn't be where we are today. Okay, we'll meet you at the restaurant. Around 6? She takes a lock of her hair and starts twirling it between her fingers. It's a cute trait I've seen her do before. Alright, 6 is good. I can't wait. Excellent. 6:10 rolls around and I'm left staring at the door with Quinley, feeling excited whenever it flings open, but disappointed when the one entering isn't Cadence. Cheer up, Buttercup. I'm sure she'll be here soon. Or maybe she's not coming at all. Oh, shush you. Opal playfully slaps her brother's arm. Oh, that's right, they're siblings. You know, they don't have the same accent, but you know, that's fine. If it had been me, he would have no reservations about returning the gesture, but towards his sister, he would never raise a hand against her out of respect and fear. Mostly fear. Opal rarely gets mad, but when she does, she is a force to be reckoned with. Instead, he merely rubs the spot where she hit him, even though the smirk on his face would suggest he isn't actually in much pain. Kidding. She'll be here. Just as I'm starting to have my doubts, the front door flings open yet again. With excitement in my eyes, I'm relieved and overjoyed to see a familiar blonde-haired girl entering the restaurant. Cadence nervously looks around the building until she sees me. I stand with my arms waving left and right in large movements, making it near impossible to miss me. Cadence, over here! She grimaces, and I can see her hesitating to step further into the restaurant. Val, you're gonna embarrass her. 20 bucks. She says that fuck. 20 bucks says that she runs away. Xavier loses that bet as Cadence slowly makes her way towards our table. You made it! Yeah, sorry for not getting here on time. Now that she's closer, I get a better look at her. Her hair is brushed and styled neatly, while her musical earrings catch my eyes. They glimmer in the light. Her lips are glossy and a slightly pinker shade than usual, and her clothes are unfamiliar but stylish and suit her well. As she takes the seat next to me, I get a whiff of pleasant floral scent. Wait, did she put all this extra effort into her appearance today to impress my friends? A sense of glee and pride swells up inside of me, expressed in the form of a toothy smile that I just cannot suppress. You look happy now that she's here. That would be because I am. Hi, it's so nice to meet you. Valerie's told us so much about you. Stretching her hand across the table, Opal introduces herself with an overtly friendly smile. I'm Opal. Cadence glances between the hand in front of her and then towards me and then back at Opal's hand. She takes it with caution. Hello, Cadence, as you already seem to know. They shake hands for longer than Cadence seems comfortable with, made evident by the expression on her face as Opal's hand continues to raise up and down as she speaks. I love your name. It's so unique. Wish I had a more interesting name than just Opal. Do you have a nickname that you usually go by? What do your friends call you? Opal, if you keep that up, you'll end up breaking the poor girl's arm off. What? Oh, I'm so sorry. She releases Cadence from her grasp. Turning to her savior, Cadence thanks Quinley in a small voice. Thank you. Don't mind Opal's enthusiasm. She's just the excitable type. Quinley raises a hand to wave, but doesn't offer it to Cadence like Opal had. The name is Quinley. Whatever you do, don't call me Quinn. Nice to meet you, Quinley. There's a hint of a smile on her face. She seems to be opening up to Quinley much more easily than she did to me. Last but not least, Cadence turns her attention to Xavier. He has been quietly observing her since her arrival. I'm Xavier. He's the one that I told you about. The one that attends the same university as us. Oh, what are you studying? Bachelor of Music and Composition. I see. Silence falls over the two of them. So, Cadence, we heard you're Australian. Oh, yes, I am. That's cool. I've never been to Australia. What's it like down there? Well, warmer, I guess. Cadence taps her finger to her chin as she considers the differences and similarities between our home countries. The beaches in Sydney are said to be some of the best. There's a famous one called Bondi, right? Yeah. Wait, there's also a show about Bondi. The one about the lifeguards. I see it on the internet all the time. What was it called again? Bondi Beach Patrol. Yeah! Oh, I've seen a few episodes of that. I would love to visit Bondi someday and go for a swim in the sea. I sure hope I'm pronouncing that right, because I've said it like fucking 8 times now. Oh, but you can't swim. Then a lifeguard can fucking rescue me. You'll be all over national TV. Then I'll also be famous. It's a fucking win-win. We all have a little laugh over Opal's carefree comments. She's always been great at breaking the ice with strangers. Seeing Cadence be welcomed into my little friend group and how well she's getting along with them makes me glad that I invited her today. We order our own individual meals. I try the roasted spuds with sour cream and chives. Ooh, yes. Cadence orders potato salad, which despite being the healthy option, looks very creamy due to the sauce. That looks good. Cadence turns to me with a quarter of a potato on her fork. Tastes good too. I think Val wants to try some. Quinley has a sly little smile on her face. You haven't had this salad before? I open my mouth to speak, but before I can say anything, Xavier decides to answer on my behalf. She normally gets the same thing. She's a creature of habit. But she really looks like she wants to try some of your salad. Oh my god, everybody's wingmanning this so fucking hard right now. Before I can respond, Opal decides to interject as well. Maybe you could share some of yours, Cadence? I love my friends, but when they all start scheming together like this, it makes me really nervous. Cadence also seems to notice a plot brewing as she raises an eyebrow. But instead of questioning them like she would have if I were the one scheming, she pushes the bowl of salad towards me with a confused expression on her face. Would you like to try some? I don't mind sharing. I would love to. I open my mouth and say waiting for Cadence to feed me. She does not. What are you doing? Oh, nothing. Just thought it would be a funny joke. Cadence doesn't find the humor in it, but all my friends do. As they try to hide their giggles and snickers, I pick up my fork and take a good helping of the salad for myself. It actually is good. Why would it not be? How is it? Great. Good. Her eyes lower to my plate. Can I try some of yours too? Of course. I happily push the plate closer towards her, eager to see what she thinks. Calm down, it's just food. She giggles at my enthusiasm before taking a small piece of my food for herself. She bites it, chews slowly, and then swallows. This seems right up your alley. Do you like it, though? Her chocolate brown eyes gaze my way with a hint of glee. Yeah, you have good taste. Dinner time soon passes, and the restaurant patrons begin to dwindle until all that's left are 4 tables, my own, 2 couples near the window, and a family of 4 on the other side of the restaurant. Our dishes have all been licked clean and cleared by the staff, leaving us with only our half-empty glasses. My attention is drawn to Cadence. I want to make sure that she's still enjoying herself. Her eyes are focused on Opal in front of her. Or that was my initial thought. I soon realize that she's not looking at Opal, but instead at the stage behind her. I lean a little closer before whispering softly. What's wrong, Cadence? She's surprised by my sudden question. Nothing. Why? You keep looking at the stage. Oh. Her eyes once again leave me. Fortunately, no one's taken notice of Cadence and I whispering, and my friends continue to chat about idle topics. I was just thinking about the time you first brought me here and how you performed up on the stage that night. Really? Are you feeling some sense of nostalgia? There's a hint of glee in my voice. Not quite nostalgia, but you were definitely something else, and you left such an impression on me that I agreed to play your song for you. What's this? What are you two talking about? Oh, we were just talking about how I convinced Cadence to play my song for me. As I spoke, I moved my hands around in big grand gestures to help with the theatrics. It happened right here in this restaurant. I got up on stage, butterflies in my stomach and ants in my pants. Cadence arches a brow, but her smile lets me know that she's enjoying my retelling of our shared memory, even if I am embellishing a little. With these very fingers, I wriggle all 10 fingers for my friends to see. I performed a song of enchantment, captivating Cadence and convincing her that she must join me in my endeavor to compose the best piece of music that will bring my audience to tears. When I finish my fantastic tale, Opal begins applauding energetically whilst Quinley and Xavier slow clap. Wow. His response holds less enthusiasm. That's not really how it happened, but sure. Quinley and Xavier find this funny and have a quick laugh at my expense. That's how I remember it. Why don't you show us how you did it? The keyboard is still up on stage and the rest of the instruments too. That's not such a bad idea. I don't mind playing on stage. In fact, I enjoy it, but this might be my chance to really show off to Cadence and my friends. Perhaps Cadence and I could play a song together, or maybe the gang would do me a solid and we'd perform something like we used to back in the day. Considering how much Cadence and I have bonded recently, I think I should try to convince her to join me. Cadence, care to join me up on stage? Excuse me. Ooh, I would love to see Cadence play something. Me too. Me three. Oh, I love my friends. We all turn to Cadence with eagerness and hope. She glances between each of our faces, feeling the pressure from us all. Well... We can play one of the songs that we played together last time in the music room. I'll be on guitar and you can show them exactly why I want you to be my pianist. Cadence's eyes waver. Yep. It's missing. That's fine. I knew what you meant. But her furrowed brows are a telltale sign that she still isn't convinced. Is it because of how I performed before? She's scared that I might make us look like fools? Listen, Cadence, I know that when I played that song for you the other day, that it wasn't my best performance, but I promise you that I'm going to give it my all today with you by my side. She turns to me with a look in her eye that says she knows she can't win against me. Letting out a sigh of surrender, Cadence nods her head before pushing her chair back and standing. There's no helping it, is there? Woohoo! A round of applause for Cadence and Val to get them pumped. Starting us off, Opal begins clapping loudly. Xavier and Quinley both join in after, but with less enthusiasm. Alright, let's do this. I jump up on the stage first before turning to Cadence and offering her my hand. She doesn't take it. Finding her own footing, she hoists herself up onto the marginally raised platform. Carefully inspecting the keyboard beside her, she runs her fingers along the plastic keys as a faint hint of a smile forms at the corner of her lips. I pick up the guitar and listen closely to tune it. The rest of the restaurant patrons have noticed us on stage, but have not yet decided if we're worth more than a couple of seconds of their time. I turn to Cadence with a gigantic smile on my face. Are you ready to show them what you've got? There's a twinkle in her eyes as Cadence turns to me with a smile on her face that I haven't seen before. Is that excitement? I was born ready. Oh shit. The moment her fingers hit those keys, the sound waves shake my very core and send shivers down my spine. I was so sure this was going to be another one of the, like, not quick time, but like mini game things. My body reactively moves on its own, strumming a quick tune that complements hers. Every note, every chord, every beat, it's electrifying. Has music always felt this way? My reasons for playing have always been selfish, my need to show off or to test how far I can push the boundaries. But when I play with her, with Cadence, it feels like all my reasons are all washed away and I'm just here, living for the moment. Nothing else matters. Cuties. As our song comes to an end, the sound of the guitar strings is quickly replaced by the thundering applause of our audience. Mainly Opal. Woo! Encore! She screams at the top of her lungs, completely embarrassing Xavier as he pretends not to know her. A couple other restaurant patrons and staff join in with the clapping. This is one way to feed my ego. I look at Cadence. She steps away from the keyboard and gives a slight bow, ever so elegantly, like she's used to this. I follow her actions, lifting the guitar strap over my shoulder before carefully placing it back on its stand. I turn and bow. Opal cheers louder. Woo! When I turn to Cadence, I see a mesmerizing expression. A smile. A beautiful smile. One that shows just how much fun she's having. A smile accompanied by a twinkle in her eyes as her hair sways like golden waves when she hops off the stage. The rest of the night ends with a couple more songs, a few extra drinks, and one drunken farewell from Opal as Xavier stuffs her into the backseat of Quinley's car. My sides are left with stitches from all the laughter I had throughout dinner. I can't believe Opal sang the entirety of Bohemian City all by herself. Her dancing was also quite, interesting. I don't know if I would classify what she did on stage as dancing. I walk Cadence back to her place like I did the other night. We follow a familiar path, passing the same scenery we did several nights ago. The exact same restaurant lights illuminate our way before fading as we reach the middle of the town center. I had a lot of fun tonight. Really? I'm glad to hear that. The corners of her eyes crinkle as she smiles and tries to hide her giggle behind her hand. Yeah, your friends are interesting characters. I think I've gotten to know a little more about you tonight. That was part of my plan, but it looks like she's also starting to open up to her life here in Quebec. Sudden gusts of chilled air pat my back and blow my hair out of place. Cadence holds her golden strands in place as the wind seems to circle around her and mess up her previously neatly styled hairdo. Instead of helping, which I probably should do, I clutch at my waist as I burst into a fit of laughter. You look like a tumbleweed. Silence falls as the wind comes to a stop. Cadence hastily attempts to brush her hair back into place, but a few stands fight to resist her. Her pouting face turns a slight shade of pink from embarrassment. Here, let me help. I step closer with my hand outreached. There's no need. Her resistance is futile. I do not know what no means. Come on, just let me help. Carefully brushing my fingers through her tangled yet silky soft locks, Cadence's retaliation ceases when she remains perfectly still to allow me to fix her hair. I run my fingers from her scalp all the way down to her ends. This is kind of fun. Being quiet as usual, but unusually compliant, Cadence keeps her chocolate brown eyes glued to the ground beneath us. I'm sure this must be a strange situation to be in for her. There, all done. Before looking up, she touches her hand to her head to make sure I did a decent job, which obviously I did. That was really unnecessary, but I guess I should thank you. My lips curl upward. I will brush your hair for you any day, Cadence. Cute. Where words fail, music speaks. Another Instablam quote. Did the name of the fucking knockoff Instagram change? I could have sworn it was different before, but it has been like a week since I played this, and also the heat in my room is slowly killing me, so the brain cells are calling goodbye. I can't remember. Another Instablam quote, one that I'm totally vibing with this week. Half a week has passed since the night Cadence met my friends. For the record, they love her. Opal thinks she's friendly, while Quinley called her cute. I've always thought of her as cute. Cadence and I have managed to find time to practice our song every day over the last 3 weeks. 3 days. Jeez. It feels like I basically live on campus at this point. However, tomorrow will be our last chance to rehearse before we have to perform on Friday night. I will admit that I'm nervous, but I won't say it out loud. I'm not worried about the performance itself or what my grade will be. No, what I'm worried about is what happens to Cadence and me after Friday night. Without the excuse of rehearsing for my song, will I need a new reason to meet up with her? But friends can hang out without the need for an excuse, right? Does Cadence think of me as a friend? I sure hope so. I still don't think she knows anyone else in Quebec, let alone on campus. She'll surely be busy with her own assignments and exams too, so she'll have less free time to see me even if she wants to catch up. All this thinking is doing my head in. Valerie. My attention snaps back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Son of a bitch. I had been staring off into space while Cadence was sitting across from me with the sheet music in hand. You weren't listening, were you? She gives me that glare of suspicion like I've done something wrong. Sorry, I wasn't listening. She lets out an unbothered sigh while lifting the pieces of paper in one hand. Thought you said you have great hearing. Yeah, well, great hearing isn't much good when the brain ain't listening. I tap the side of my head with my finger while flashing a cheeky smile. My joke goes unlaughed at as Cadence rolls her eyes before standing up. I asked if you could send me a digital copy of the sheet music. I don't have a scanner, but I want to show my parents what we've been working on. Oh, sure thing. And how are your parents? The papers rustle as Cadence straightens them against the top of the piano before handing them back to me. They're well. I wait for her to elaborate. She waits for me to change the topic. I see we have a game of conversation chicken going on, and I'm not going to lose. I tap the papers against the top of the piano again, as if they weren't already perfectly aligned. They wanted to know if I've been eating well, so I told them about the La Pomme de Terre. She's still saying it in such a cute way. Then I mentioned that we played on stage. Really? You told them? What did they say? She shrugs. It was a small restaurant performance for fun. They didn't care much for it. Oh, well, maybe I don't care much for them either. Wow, that sounded so petty. I'm glad I didn't say that out loud. Anyway, please just send me a copy of the sheets. I will. Giving her a copy of the sheet music means she'll be able to play our song again at any time in the future, right? It's nice to think of 80-year-old Cadence playing our song when she's back in Australia with her wrinkly hands and her grey, frizzing hair. Maybe I should get her something else to remember me by. Could get her a new hair tie to keep her hair out of her face, or gloves to keep her hands warm while she's still here in Canada. What are you thinking about now, Valerie? You have a problematic look on your face. What the fuck does she mean by problematic? I'm just thinking about the future. It's nothing for you to worry your pretty little head over. She over-exaggerates, a shiver running down her spine. Pretty little head. But her lightly flushed face and the way she begins twirling a lock of her golden hair suggests she might like the compliments, even if it's just a little. Very pretty. Hey, tomorrow is our last practice session, right? Yeah? Alright, I've decided then. I hop off my seat with more enthusiasm than needed. Decided on what? Raising my finger to my lips, I let out a soft hush before whispering. It's a secret, but make sure you come right on time tomorrow, okay? Don't be late. I'm never late. Except when it comes to dinner. Right, but that was because I had a good reason. Now that she's mentioned it, I never did exactly find out why she was late that day. I just assumed it was because she spent extra time getting ready, but she never confirmed that. She's piqued my curiosity yet again. Perhaps I could get her to tell me why she was late. Pray tell. I lean in a little closer to her, but she's already rushing to gather up her bag and belongings. Cadence is halfway out the door when she starts shouting back her answer. Next time. Well, it's better than a flat-out no. I rush to the doorframe and poke my head out into the hallway. Cadence is only a few feet away, but my voice echoes when I call out to her. I'll see you tomorrow! See you tomorrow. She shouts back without turning around. We might have disturbed anyone else that was on our floor, but I don't really care. I'm making it my mission after classes today to get Cadence a present that she will keep forever to remind her of her time here in Canada. And of course, her time with me. Brilliant.